Good morning, YouTube. Day 63 of the Carnivore Diet. Now, a couple of things that I want to talk about today. First off, under the guise of the Carnivore Diet, I have been overdoing it with milk. I kind of knew that I would. I love milk so much. Today, I begin a serious restriction on my dairy. I started tracking it in MyFitnessPal, and I'm seeing, hey, I'm going way over where I should be because of the carbohydrates that are in dairy. So today I just have one slice of cheese instead of, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, instead of 6. And in my protein shake this morning, I only had 1 cup of milk, and I measured it. I used a measuring cup, 1 cup of milk, so that's 22 grams with 2 scoops of my whey protein. So I am about at 25 grams for the entire day now. And that should be a really good place for me to be. And I would recommend that as well. That way your body is more into ketosis than anything else, because, you know, dairy is the big question on the carnivore diet. It is an animal product, but so is honey. Honey's also an animal product, but I'm not taking honey. That's just too much carbohydrates. And like I said, I'm more worried. I should be more worried about my heart health and what that LDL cholesterol, what will happen to my LDL cholesterol if I get too many carbohydrates in my diet. So starting today, as a result of yesterday's video, I have to be the example, and I have to say, okay, I'm going to do my 50 gram carbohydrate or below restriction daily. So there we are. I am also going to regulate my workout recovery drink, because there's like 3 grams of carbs in there as well. So one of those a day, probably 1 protein shake a day with the dairy, and we'll see what happens from there. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about is time management. This is what everyone seems to struggle with, including myself. I still struggle with this every day. How do you squeeze things in? How do you get things done? How do you check off your to-do list? Because a diet is a to-do list. You know, you have your snacks, you have your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, and your 2 snacks in between. You should be eating like every 2 hours. Big truck trying to get on the highway here. And it really becomes time management. Do you get your snacks in during work? Do you sit at your desk eating? Yeah, you got to do all these things. You got to make it happen. So trying to squeeze in as much as possible. Like here, I'm driving to work and I'm recording a video at the same time. I can do that. That is something that I can do in order to manage my time a little bit better. So when I get to work, I'm not in a hurry to record another video before, you know, getting into the office and starting my morning routine where I have to schedule all my tasks on my calendar and do all of these things. So that's kind of what I do in regards to time management. If I use Outlook. If I get an email or a task on DevOps is a Microsoft programming for handling project management, things like that. So if I get something, I schedule it like it's a meeting. That way people can see what I'm working on. I can always go back in time and say, on this date and this time, this is what I am working on. And you got to communicate with other people of what that affects. Like, I gotta tell my wife, you know, this is what I am doing. She told me yesterday that she is going to get her toenails done for whatever reason. Not in love with her toenails, but she's gonna go get her toes done with my daughter after work. So I'm going to the gym, getting in my second workout like I'm supposed to today. you got to squeeze everything in as possible. And one thing that I was listening to a lecture on time management. Just a lot of different topics. What was in that lecture? But one of the things that he said, as an idea to give to you, listen to audiobooks while you're in the shower. You're not wasting time. You're not just sitting there with your head under the water and soaping up. You're actually listening to some good information that you could be learning while you're even in the shower. It's all these little things. Instead of sitting around, checking your Facebook, your Twitter feeds and all of that stuff, do something that is productive. Most people sit in bed at night just going through 3 apps on their phone, checking status updates that really haven't changed in the last 4 minutes. But this is what we do, and I'm guilty of it. So if we're going to get better, not just in our diet, but overall life management, because a diet is part of life management. We're going to get better at that. I thought I passed this guy on the highway. If we're going to get better at that, then we need these little helps along the way to fit in as much as possible. So instead of going to your Twitter feed or your Facebook, go to MyFitnessPal. Learn something new. Read the articles on MyFitnessPal. Stay motivated. And log your stuff. Take the time to sit there and log everything that you have eaten, put in your mouth. It's free. It's a free app, so there's no reason why you can't do it. And you can set up your goals and your standards. You should definitely do it. And this will help you see where you are. Now, every day should have a goal associated with it. My goal today is get through 2 workouts, get a couple things done off of my to-do list that my boss has sent me. And, just be overall happy with my life. And I'm making that happen. You can too. Just remember, if the journey is not challenging, the reward will not be fulfilling. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.